tornado, too, and a big topic we've been discussing all morning long. A murder-for-hire case involving newlyweds in Boynton Beach has all the drama of a Hollywood flick, right?
Yep. Carlton Smith found out how police pulled the last twist on a murder suspect.
26-year-old newlywed Dahlia DiPolito claims her innocence as she's tucked in a squad car. Destination, the Palm Beach County Jail. The charge, solicitation to commit murder. The target, DiPolito's own husband, Michael.
You know, your wife's trying to have you killed, and I'm like, what? You know, and it just kind of, it took a little while to resonate.
Boynton Beach police nabbed DiPolito after staging an elaborate crime scene at the couple's home, complete with squad cars, CSI-like detectives, and crime scene tape. Cops filmed her reaction as officers told her that her husband had been murdered, shot to death in the couple's suburban home. DiPolito breaks down after police tell her of her husband's murder. But there's a lot of theater going on here. What DiPolito doesn't know is that the hitman she allegedly hired to kill her husband is actually an undercover detective. Moments later, she's taken to the police department where she's reintroduced to her husband, who is very much alive.
I feel a little bad, but I mean, there's no reason she had to do this, you know? She was well off. She could have just left and did just as well by leaving.
I mean, we have her on surveillance video talking about wanting her husband dead and saying she's 5,000% sure that she wants this done.
According to the affidavit, DiPolito met with an undercover officer multiple times over the last week, even giving him a down payment of $1,200 to purchase a gun and to ensure that it was a solid deal. Michael DiPolito has had his run-ins with the law in the past. He was arrested in Broward in 2002 for fraud and racketeering and is still on probation. As far as his marriage is concerned, he fully realizes it's over.
And you know, the reality is, what more is there to say? I heard you on tape, I saw you on the video. And she clearly, you know, had a plan for me. So.
In Boynton Beach, I'm Carlton at southflorida.com.
All right, pretty crazy case. For a legal insight into it, please welcome criminal defense attorney Phillip Menditto joining us now. All right, as a defense attorney, would you take this case, considering we just saw, would you want it? And if so, what would your strategy be?
Good morning, guys. Thank you for having me. Yeah, definitely I would take this case. You got to remember something. As we're starting out here, the police are just giving you what they think happened. You're hearing one side of the story. Just like in life, when you meet someone for the first time, you put your best foot forward. The police are doing that. They're giving you what they say happened, and it's peppered by what they believe and their side of the story. You got to wait till everything unfolds. You got to wait till
the tape. I mean, she was caught on tape saying, I'm 5,000% sure, saying I'll be so happy when he's gone. Then the Oscar-winning, award-winning, you know what I mean? Really?
I would love to tell you that as a criminal defense attorney, we never have, in the police report, that there's tapes, and once they get to us, they don't work. You hope that's not the case here, but if there are tapes, that is very damaging evidence. At the same time, you got to wait to see what those tapes show, what the cop is saying in those statements and those tapes, and see what kind of defenses she has from there. But even with all the evidence that's been presented, she may have some viable defenses on her side.
All right, in terms of where we are in the timeline right now, what has already happened that could be very detrimental to her? In other words, we've seen the video, we saw her being taken away. Now, I'm assuming as her attorney, you would counsel her to just not talk, would be my guess, right?
Well, if I walked in the jail and she was my client, the first thing I would say is shut your mouth. Don't say a word. I mean, you paid me this exorbitant amount of money to represent you. Let me do what you've hired me to do. Oftentimes, clients, I've seen this tons of times as a prosecutor and now as a defense attorney, people think they can talk their way out of it. People think that I'm going to tell the police my side, and then the police are going to open the doors and let me out. I would tell a client, let me say what happened. Let me show them the evidence from our side of you, because statements I say can't be used against you. Statements that you say can and definitely will be used against you.
Phillip, if it gets to the point where the undercover cop is sitting there on the stand saying, you know, they played the tape, say, this is what she told me, this is what went down, I mean, does she have to plead guilty here?
No, not at all. I think the one screaming thing in our faces is why. Assuming all the elements are there for this crime, I think you can come up with the viable defenses. Why did a young 26-year-old woman that felt like she had no other answer in life but murder, no other statement to give but murder, no other action but murder, I think that you can develop a defense through that. And I think the husband's actions clearly demonstrate an individual that looked like he expected this. And I think there's more things you can develop through that.
That is one thing, we'll say goodbye, but he didn't seem that surprised and terrified, right?
It was very bizarre. Very bizarre. Well, Phillip, very complicated situation, and it's so neat to see both sides, how you can spin a situation any different way. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, guys.
All right, and just a few more particulars. Dahlia, she's being held in the Palm Beach County Jail. Right now, she faces felony charges of solicitation to commit first-degree murder. Also expected to be arraigned later this morning. So we do have that video, that wild video. If you'd like to see the video of the crime scene and the bride's tearful reaction, head to southflorida.com.